first time since January 27. Involved here, off to Reed.
And don't their uniforms look fabulous?
Samuelson, the sharpshooter for Townsville. We mentioned both sides have got one, Murray and Samuelson. George gets to position under the hoop. Well done, Michaela Roof. Great battles all over the court tonight. This is going to be one of them. Wallace versus Reed. And Christie draws first blood. Reed versus Wallace. One to watch anytime these two hit the court together. Reed gets into the lane, feeds Nicholson, slapped away by Nelson Adota.
Very good timing on that block. She made it look easy, but it's not.
Mitchell inside to Olivia, who finishes. Trying to turn Reed around. George has got the feet set. Not this time. Well done, Mitchell. Tidies up the glass and puts in another two for Melbourne. Dinner Nelson Adota off to Hawkins. Well done, George. Nelson Adota couldn't find it. Roof kept it alive. And Reed punishes. Roof pops it over the top. George read it well, picked it off. And now a chance. Kayla wide open, in a position.
Wow.
Two.
That was a bit of comedy of errors there. How's that? That's the best way to climb up the ladder, is just to watch a game.
Mitchell finds some space, takes it to the rack and rolls it in.
Her change of direction is so difficult to go.
Nicholson busy as always, draws a crowd. Samuelson only needs a slight bit of space and she will pull the trigger.
Wow, she just got that off so quickly.
Here's another look.
I mean, that was a good closeout by Murray.
Tiff comes away with it once again for Melbourne. The feed inside is good to Goodchild.
I tell you what, Goodchild sprinted the lane, was nice and wide.
Flew herself down from Brisbane for a tryout to impress Chris Lucas. She did just that. She's got herself a WNBL career as a result. And Samuelson just keeps on draining threes. Over the last couple of weeks, she's been able to get some trainings. She and Steph Reed have just been going hammer and tong at every session. It's been fun to watch. Wallace sets up from the charity stripe and drains it. Off to Woods, who's been important. Can't finish here. Hawkins tries to keep it alive. Does so. Gives him another opportunity. Lovely feed and Kuzo on the burst.
Big players off.
Mitchell against Woods. George from the corner. Couldn't get it to go the first time, but she got her range. He's come to the Boomers to work with Christie and develop that side of her game as a pure point guard. Here's Woods. Takes it to the rack. Lovely finish to the turn for Townsville. Tries to feed it over the top to Davidson. It's cut off by Hawkins, and here comes Reed. Will she take Wallace on? Of course she will. Once again, players hit the floor. Recent signing by the Boomers. Reed wraps around Ortlip, gets to the hoop and adds two more. Fire her in front.
Well, that's what the coach wanted, was a little bit more get your feet in the paint, and that's exactly what happened. But what a lovely pass and finish by Christie Wallace.
Roof to heel. A lovely step around Ortlip. Can she get to the rack? Not quite. Olivia says, And here is Samuelson at the top of the arc. Flips it over the top off hands. Hawkins. Reed's open as Wallace came to provide help defense. Steph left open.
So they can feel that tension in the team, and we can feel it from Shannon too.
Ortlip goes herself. Can't finish. Nelson Adota tries the putback. Second effort is good. Scores level. After it herself, keeps it alive here for Townsville. What she got, she had Hawkins under the hoop, couldn't find her, went to Nicholson instead. It was a good option. Wallace, and here's an example. Samuelson almost gets it away from Mitchell. Christie tries to create some space for her, which she uses now, and finishes. There's a look. Christie Wallace getting up the quick three.
The two of them, just you can see the almost intensity on their face when they're together. There's a bit of extra nudges going on as well. I would keep a close eye on those two tonight.
Christie Wallace has 11, so they're both leading the way for their respective teams. Mitchell, tough finish, keeps it alive, can go again. Ties things up once more. Ortlip to Murray. George wants to work on Zatina.
Wow.
Does that as well as anyone in the
WNBA. It's so good to see.
Very deserving. She'll head back to the States for the first time in 5 years. Reed to Nicholson, who's wide open. Defensive breakdown there from the Boomers. And Loz ties it up. Boomers look to try and get a bit of movement and flow in this offense. Create some space. Mitchell again almost loses her footing. Feeds it over the top. Nelson Adota kisses it off the glass. Back to Mitchell. Good defensive work there from the Boomers. Lovely feed through from Woods to McSpadden. Here's Hawkins. Off to Shyla Hill. 5-second differential. Samuelson's open, and that usually spells trouble. Had to haul it in. Will she go herself? Shot clock down to 3. Feeds it through beautifully to Samuelson.
Michaela Roof just is a hard worker.
Wraps around, receives, gets to the rack, kicks it out. Here's Mia Murray. Still hasn't put the shot up. She'll get the assist from Wallace.
See the floodgates open at all, Jason, if either team will loosen up or the defense will continue.
Heavy contact off the ball. Reed, Roof. Her first points of the night.
It's not the prettiest three-point shot, but doesn't matter.
With the capacity to change gears in a hurry. Mitchell. George is open. And here come the points.
Such great execution. That nice curl cut by Tiff Mitchell. George in the corner.
And so often this season we've seen Kayla a little cold in the first, but neither team completely dominant. And it's shown on the scoreboard. It's been tight the whole way. Mitchell goes to the rack herself.
There was a lot of screens to navigate in that play.
Biggest margin of the game, 6 points in favour of the Boomers. They lead by 3 at the moment. Reed was looking for Nicholson under the basket. No way to get it there, so Hawkins from the corner rattles it around and drops it in. Look out. Samuelson's open. Will she take Murray on? She will. Spins, twists, shoots and scores.
This is exactly what we wanted and expected, Jason, for the top of the ladder, 1 versus 2. Shyla Hill
Joins the party.
joins the party, nails that 3.
Slips away. Will she go herself? She feeds Roof. The turnaround, tough shot. She makes it.
Oh, and a big smile on her face.
Crowd can sense the importance right now. Nice little step inside from Goodchild. Lovely play from Mila. What a pickup she's been. The Kuzo comes down with it. And now Samuelson. She'll put up the 3. Huge shot in this game. Huge.
That is massive.
They need a response. This is Mitchell. They've had the answers all year. Can Tiff come up with it again? She can. It's back to 5. Closes her down. Wallace, can she hang on? She can. Mitchell keeps it alive. George, Davidson, not the way they drew it up, but somehow they come up with 2. Heel in space, winds her way past, kicks it out. Samuelson, Nicholson from the corner.
Such great team basketball right now.
With 38 seconds to play, Boomers need some points on this last drive. And they'll come from Wallace. Lovely feed from Nelson Adoda. Akuzo, heel. Tries to put the work on. Ortlep, tough shot, makes it. Beautiful from Shyla. He was really happy with the way they fought back against Perth late to win a close one in game 1 of that doubleheader. And Samuelson, well, she just can't miss. Literally can't miss. She's 8 from 8 again tonight. Loses the handle. Fortunately, Wallace is there to clean it up. 5 seconds to shoot. And it drops for Tiff. Critical 3 there for the Boomers. They're back to within 7. It's just so tight, isn't it? Still no way to know how this is all going to finish, which is exactly what you want 3 weeks from home. Hawkins found some space. Adds 2 more. Will she shoot over the top of Mitchell or take her on? She tries to take her on. Spins. Tough one. Steps. Oh, what a play!
She has some serious...
But Kuzo keeps it alive for Townsville. Samuelson to Reed. Hawkins cuts to the hoop and just floats it in. Things starting to get grim here for Melbourne. That won't go. Mitchell fights for it, keeps it alive, has it stripped, flips it out. George, she puts up a 3 and makes it.
Wow, they needed that.
8-point game. Just want to create a good look here. Will Steph go herself? She feeds it inside. Beautiful vision to Akuzo.
By Steph Reed, leads the league in assists, averaging 6.4 on plays like that.
Here's Murray. First shot of the night is good. Huge offensive set here. Can they come up with some points? George on the inside. Murray for her second shot of the night is good as well. They can draw level or even hit the front.
This game deserves overtime.
Wallace carves her way through and we're all tied up with 28 seconds to play. George has got time. They've got time to get a shot up. Wallace hoists it. It's touched. Samuelson's made everything tonight, but not this. And we are appropriately headed to overtime. All season and certainly nothing between them tonight. Reed. Ruth. Samuelson cuts to the basket. She's been wonderful. 28 points for Carl. Every stop amplified now. George, little pop pass over the top. Nelson Adoda, 2 good executions on offense, 1 from each team.
Very good. And here I said the focus was going to be on defense.
Good pressure there from Ruth.
Certainly was. Only 9 seconds left on the shot clock now.
Plenty of time for Christie to hit 3. Heel, will she take on Murray? She does, just shoot straight over the top.
Oh my.
Ties it up again.
Good recognition, Charlotte Hill. Much quicker foot speed and just looked like she was going to the basket, then step back. But Tiff Mitchell can answer now.
Just use that screen from Nelson Adoda beautifully. Again, she's just coming up with some important boards right now. Wants to take on George. Gets to position and finishes. All tied up, 2:20 to play. Nicholson to position. Heel for 3. George in her face. Shyla, Nicholson. The shot won't go. And we're going to double overtime. She goes herself. Nelson Adoda, really clever tap.
Oh, no.
George keeps it alive, but hands Ruth 2 points in the process.
To throw it in and you know, as we just saw there, offense got the ball and had an easy score.
Mia Murray hasn't missed tonight. Trying to get it to Hawkins, does that now. Will she take George on? Puts it on the floor. Kayla slaps it away. The fall away was good from Hawkins.
Well, we talked about Hawkins, how she seemed to be relatively quiet last bit of the fourth quarter and certainly that first overtime period.
To 13 points. Christy Wallace to give the Boomers back the lead as they trade bucket for bucket. Particularly when you consider what's on the line. Reed gets past Wallace and the Fire are back in front. Over the top, George wants to work on Ruth, puts it on the floor, goes herself, lays in the 2. Melbourne regain the lead. Reed. Samuelson's open.
There it is, there's that 3.
Advantage, Fire. Hawkins will go at George. It's a 4-point lead. 93 seconds to play and Townsville are feeling it.
So you can see the subs being made depending on whether they're on offense, defense, what your coach wants on the floor.
Oh, Hawkins left wide open. Defensive breakdown, costly for the Boomers. Happy to wind it down here, and why not? Melbourne choosing not to foul. And Reed will score anyway.
Everybody needs to know that.
26 seconds to play. Boomers down by 8. Just have to jack it up, and they do. Ortlep makes the first. It's back to 5. And Townsville win 8 games straight. The Fire take a huge stride towards the minor premiership with a critical win over the reigning champions.